Hello and welcome to News 18. Today I am joined by the very special and magical trio of Shankar, Ehsan and Loy. They are here with us on this very special occasion when Dil Chahta Hai has completed 20 years. So starting off, any first thoughts that come to your minds when I mention the name of the film Dil Chahta Hai and its music?
Just a moment. Huh?
Yeah.
Shirin, your picture's being recorded too.
Yeah, so what? It's for
Okay.
online thing only, na. First thoughts, Devashish, is that time is flying. Yeah, we just remember everything so distinctly, as if it was just yesterday that we composed all this music and the kind of energy that we put together, and such a great time we had. And the first thought that comes is how fast time flies, and still how fresh this film is.
Not
That is
just
the amazing
cinematic.
part about it. Yeah.
Sorry, sir, you were saying something.
No, that's the amazing part about it is that whenever we perform the music and when people hear the music, it still sounds so new. So it's almost like, 20 years have passed, but no time has passed. It's like, we're there still, as far as the music's concerned, and as far as the film's concerned. It was very new for its time. It's still very different. I mean, I don't think there's been a film like that since then. There's not been a soundtrack like that since then. I'm saying it ourselves from having composed it ourselves, We've never been able to live up to that because it was not just about the music. It was the sum total of the entire thing that happened at that. It was an explosion of something very different for the Indian film industry,
So do you guys remember any sort of
Lawy's off. Law, your voice is
Sorry.
off.
No,
Sorry,
I was
sir.
Yeah,
saying a
okay.
lot of times people come up to you and say, we want a track that's very different and new. But a lot of times you give them that, but the way they picturize it is still the old traditional way. But in Dil Chahta Hai, everything was the way they did everything was so fresh, like a whole new take on it. So that made a huge difference.
Sir, looking back, what do you remember? Like, what place does this music album and this soundtrack hold in your career, your respective careers in the industry?
I would say it was like a launching pad, for us. I mean, the thing is that we had done Mission Kashmir, Shul, Dil Lagi, Rockford before that, but nobody could put a face to the, like who are these three? Who was Shankar Ehsan Loy? And this album, when it came out, it made such a big difference in terms of the style of music. People had never heard that before, So I'm very proud to say that we are part of Indian film industry's history. We go down in history as single-handed having changed the whole music scene out here by introducing new sounds and stuff like that. So as a result of which, that is literally that album gave us a face, and people knew who we were, and kind of launched us into the middle of the thick of the industry.
Anything you get, Loy sir and Shankar sir would want to add to this?
Well, when we came out with the music, the initial response was, "Oh, ye kya hai? Ye." Many of the music companies and all that who are used to hearing a particular type of sound,
Sound.
and they're saying that, "Oh, this is not sounding like film music." Obviously, it's not sounding like film music because that's why we were brought in, so that it doesn't sound like something that you've heard before. To sound so anything new, anything fresh, anything path breaking is first met with resistance, anywhere. So that's what happened as usual. And slowly, like slow poison, it grew on people's minds and it's still there. And our songs are still playing. When you do this, everybody knows that it is Wo Ladki Hai Kahan. When you do this, you know that it's Koi Kahe. So,
Okay.
it's still as fresh as ever. I mean, we can't get over the movie, the three of us, so forget about, the audience is definitely, it's gone into their system.
And what do you think makes this soundtrack so timeless? Because say talk about the road trip song, the title song. It's still played when guys are on a road trip, or say girls are on a road trip, and the disco song "Koi Kahe Kehta Rahe," the Tanhai track, which is still one of the classics for a heartbreak. It's associated with it. So why do you think it feels so timeless, like soundtrack?
I think part part of it probably has to be a timestamp with your, at some moment in your life, or whoever's, watching or listening to that film. It's a bit of a flashback. It triggers some memories of your buddies, the crazy things that you would do. Some of you guys are still in touch. Some have probably have, gone to some other part of the world, or you relocated to another city. So all those elements, like those are, when you look back on those portions of your life, I mean, they're fantastic times, no matter what you've been through. When you come out of it, and it's so beautiful, and like, you would love to revisit it and relive those moments. But I guess the film is one way of, or the music is one way of, going back, putting on your headphones and getting into that zone. It's a beautiful thing, synchronicity. It's got its own thing to it. So
And I think actually the album had nothing that was familiar in terms
yep.
of what was popular then. I mean, if you think about the 90s, I mean, okay, A.R. Rahman had just come out late 90s, but afterwards it was what? It was like, the Jatin Lalit, it was Nadeem Shravan and, Anand Milind, and there was this particular kind of music that they did. Now, this came straight through and was like, I mean, so different. I think that's where it stood apart, because there's nothing that was familiar to the audience, There was rock guitar for the first time, there was techno music for the first time, there's like, Jane Q breaks into
Ambient stuff, all that.
African music in between, there's ambient music which has been introduced in Kaisi Hai Ye Ruth, or Celtic music which has been introduced in Wo Ladki Hai Kahan, So it came as like a freight train out of the mist, It suddenly hit everybody that, what is this kind of music, Took time for people to adjust, but once they got used to it, it was like an addiction. Still is.
Also, I think a lot music is, and food, is that if you grow up with a certain thing, you tend to get programmed by that, and it becomes a comfort zone. So it becomes very difficult to shift out of it. Is like and the case in point is like when you travel, especially when you travel to another country and you don't have your food that you're used to, it like freaks you out so crazy, and like you really have to make an effort to eat something which is different and get comfortable with, because look, there's another part of the world that's already eating that food and is absolutely comfortable with that food, so it cannot be bad. Okay. Similarly with music, I mean, there's a whole section of people listening to music and they're very comfortable with it. I mean, you play them like some, Indian Bollywood traditional stuff, they get like very freaked for the first time. They just don't know how to get into it because it's so alien to them. So they're going to make a similar effort if they want to kind of, get into it. So that's the thing. So you need to kind of deprogram and like, sometimes, look at something different. And if you don't like a particular movie or a book, then you got to spend more time watching it or reading it or listening to it to get comfortable with it. So that's important.
Sir, do you think was this soundtrack for you in any way also personal because of the theme of the film, of the three friends together and also the three of you making music? Since Ehsan sir pointed out, it was one of the initial soundtracks of your career. Was it also personal, the music?
Well, no, I don't think that it was anything to do with our personal lives or anything like that. But if you go to see subconsciously the character of the music, it reflects our character. It's a combination of the three of us, the different aura that each one has got, coming together of three different individuals. Even if you see in Dil Chahta Hai also, there are three different individuals. हर एक का अपना अपना character hai. Similarly, हम तीनों भी ना, we've got our own. We are very different characters. So that reflects in our music, so that you can see, suddenly there is an alap and suddenly there is a bass line going on. Suddenly there is, it's quite crazy if you go to see. So that's how we are. So yeah, yes. So our characteristic does reflect in the music.
And looking back, can you recall any memories from the time you were making music for this film? Because one of the things that I remember reading online about was the sound, like the title song Dil Chahta Hai, where you guys went to a certain location with Javed Akhtar Saab and Farhan Akhtar, and you had a sitting and 5-6 days you came up with a song. Are there any memories like that you would want to share with our
Yeah, lots of memories. It was at this time of the year in the monsoons. We were driving up to Lonavala to kind of write at the producer's place, Ritesh Sadhwani's house. So he said we have a place. So we set up a kind of room. We took an engineer with us. Set up all the gear and started writing. We were supposed to be there for about almost a week, I would say, or probably more. But we had all the songs down in about 3 days. So it was fun. Remember, Hassan, your red car?
Yeah, yeah. We went in a little Maruti Zen and we
Yes,
drove
right.
in pouring rain. It was pouring like mad.
Yeah,
And only half of the expressway was ready at that time.
yeah.
The Mumbai-Pune expressway wasn't full. So when you started climbing the ghats, you were going through all this fog and there's all of us in the car listening to Celtic music blasting on the speakers. I remember that. Yeah. It was great fun, great fun.
Yeah, well, listening to
In fact-
Celtic music is when we got the idea for that line. Immediately we went and put that down.
And what I do remember was this time I think it was at Ganpati time, because we came to your place and there was a puja and then we left.
Was it?
Do you remember? Yeah. We
On
did
road.
puja at your place, we had lunch at your place, and then we
On
drove
road,
out. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So the three of you also had a road trip of your own.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Many,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Sir, talking
So
about
then-
your collaboration, sorry.
No, so many road trips, and some very funny road trips. Yeah.
Sir, talking about the feel of the art of making music, since actors are always shooting in a different location or they have changing scenes, so creativity sort of flows in different ways. But for musicians to make music inside a studio and now during COVID times interacting online and composing and arranging, so how do you guys let your creative juices flow? Like what motivates you?
Well, actually, see, the thing is that when you have to deliver music, you have to deliver music, whether it's online or whether because the music it's not about Zoom, it's not about software, it's not about studio, it's all up here. When you compose music there, you've got an idea and you put it down and you exchange it with, like we just composed a song for a new film, which was done completely in three different places. It was sent to Shankar. Shankar added something. We came back. We spent 3 hours in the studio, then went back home again. And now the song is ready. And none of us have been physically present when it's been happening, with each other. So that's the way it is. I mean, it's a new way of working for now. And, I do believe it's not permanent. It's going to be temporary. But music and
Devashish.
creativity. Go on.
Yeah. And Devashish, creating music is like acting, For example, say suppose you're playing the role of a villain, or if you're playing, or if you're in a situation where you're going to be jumping off a plane. So many a times it happens that you're doing it in a studio against a green backdrop, or you have to, if you're playing a particular character, you have to mentally transport yourself and get into that character. You need not necessarily be in that location, or you're not actually that person. Similarly, for us too, when a situation is narrated to us, saying that yes, there's a heartbreak over here, or this is a crazy song, this is a travel song, so we have to mentally transport ourselves to that particular situation and see how we can interpret that situation musically. How through music we are able to convey what we want to, like a song like Kal Ho Na Ho, for example. I mean, since we're talking about Dil Chahta Hai, let's talk about Dil Chahta Hai only. That when you hear a song like Tanhai, you don't need to for a person to tell you that this is a sad song, or this guy's going through a lot of and that that conveys that uneasiness that's going on in his heart. There's something. See, when you're very lonely, very sad, but inside you're continuously restless. So that musically, how do you interpret that? So you have to transport yourself, and that's our job. Yaar. Hum log ka naukri hai, yaar. We have to do that. We get paid to do that.
So, talking about Farhan, the director of the film, how did your collab, since it was his first film as well as director? So, starting from there, you have always, if Farhan is there as director, you guys come on board as music directors. even in the films he's acting, you are there as music director. So how has your collaboration with Farhan been over the years? And starting with Dil Chahta Hai, how did it all begin?
Actually, Farhan
Actually,
had. Sorry, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
go ahead. No, go ahead. Go ahead. Go
No,
ahead.
no, you started. Go ahead. Go ahead.
It's actually Farhan and Shankar had worked together on the Breathless. When he did the Breathless album, the Breathless video was directed by Zoya and Farhan, I think, together. And that was when the association took place. And Farhan had heard some of our music from Mission Kashmir and from from Das Sabse Aage Hogi Hindustani. And he was making a new film and for the first time. And I think Javed Saab kind of suggested to him that to contact us and see if it works out with us. And we came and met us and we realized that we were on the same wavelength. And most importantly, musically on the same wavelength, because he was not coming from a typical Bollywood kind of background. I don't think he even listens to so much of that music. He must be listening to it having grown up in the atmosphere, but he's into everything that we like.
Farhan, you're talking about Farhan.
Yeah.
Farhan is more Bollywood than all of us put together.
Are you
He
serious?
has seen every
he knows
film.
that, obviously.
He
he's
knows
seen-
every song. He is. I mean, of course, his preferences are other forms of music, but I think
That's what I mean.
he's seen
That's what
films
I mean.
like Clerk and all 15 times, and so he's a big Bollywood buff.
But what I mean to say is that's not his influence for his own
I
film.
mean, what I mean
Musically,
to say
that's
is
not-
he's not like Loy. He's not like Loy,
yeah.
Now, Loy is a true, a person who does not know anything about Bollywood. तो वो सच्ची है. Farhan ऐसा नहीं. Farhan full filmy है. He's
No.
full
What I
filmy.
mean to say is Farhan knows everything about Bollywood, having been in the atmosphere, but it's for his own movie. The music references were
Yeah,
not
of course.
typical. Bollywood.
That's preferences.
That's
Yeah,
what I
yeah.
mean. So his references were very different as a result of which, and we kind of matched there because into rock, blues, classical. I mean, whatever you want, world music. We could do it together, and I think that's where it also was the vibe that we got along with him first shot. Yeah, I mean, it seemed like a lot of fun. He seemed like a really great guy, and we met him. We'd met him a couple of times before at work when he was assisting Adi Pocha for advertising work. But we saw that the vibe is correct, and that vibe has continued even now, even through to Tufan right now.
Let me tell you something, Devashish. After watching Tufan, I really have come to the conclusion there is nobody in the industry who can do what he does. I mean, look at his work in Bhag Milka Bhag, and now look at his work in Tufan. I mean, just acha chodo, film chodo, forget about your craft, your acting. Just dedication, boss. Just dedication and hard work and focus. Can you imagine that for a fact that for the next 3 months, when you get up at 6:30 in the morning, you'll have to go and get yourself punched on your face every day. Because you're not a boxer. So you're going to learn the sport. You're going to start from learning the sport. And by learning the sport, you're going to get punched every day. वो सोच के साला डर लगता है.
And no double.
Watch the film. You just watch the film. He's just incredible, boss. I don't think anybody can do it. It's just unbelievable. He's just an unbelievable person.
How do you like the movie, Shankar?
It's unreal, boss. It's, amazing film. Amazing film.
We should watch it at your place sometime.
Have you seen Devashish?
Yeah, sir. I watched it
Yes.
yesterday. In fact,
You didn't like it that much?
I was talking about how I like the film and especially the song.
Oh, you like the film?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
So and the other, so we were talking about it earlier. So it's very interesting. But I also pointed out how it, could have given us better feel if it was a theater release, because the soundtrack of a sports film is in a certain way designed to be for that immersive experience. We kind of missed out on that because watching on phones, laptops, and television is not that feeling, of course. So
वो तो है ही यार, अभी क्या कर सकते हैं?
Yeah, but I know you have it.
So, Loy, sir, anything
But actually,
on
with a good system or a good set of headphones, it's quite. And
Boss,
a
that
big
background,
screen.
guys, you all should come and watch it in my house, boss.
I want to watch it at your house. In fact, I was telling
Yeah.
Shiv.
Because I've got Dolby Atmos.
I know,
Whoa.
I know.
It is sounding mind-blowing, boss. It's
So we'll do it.
sounding
We'll fix
something
up.
So
else.
let's
We'll
fix a
Come,
date.
come.
fix up
Yeah, yeah.
lunch and a movie.
And some
Good idea.
good food,
Yes,
and we are
yes.
good to go.
मेरा तो कल से चालू है, स्क्रीनिंग ही चालू है मेरे घर में, पब्लिक का काम है. Only thing is I got only 9 recliners, so no, उसके लिए झगड़ा है. Oh, I want this row that full, yeah.
ठीक है. हाँ.
Sir, so talking about like, sir, this is like something that our viewers would like to know, and upcoming musicians also could also benefit from this. How do musicians go about selecting singers for their tracks? Because it also kind of attaches like an identity to the song. Say Sonu Nigam sings Tanhai, so it attaches to their personality, and they are remembered. So how do you go about selecting singers for a tracks? You can talk about with respect to Dil Chahta Hai.
I think one
I think
thing, Shankar, you go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, you speak. I think it'd be better about
See,
the
because
singers.
every singer has got a particular thing that he brings to the table, So what happens is when you are composing now, you automatically start kind of visualizing and thinking that arey ye gana, it's like casting, yeah. It's exactly like casting, If you're writing a particular role, some names start flashing in front of you, Arey, you start seeing that person in that particular character. Similarly, for music, it's a casting of voice. For example, if you see Shan's voice,
Correct.
which is casted for Wo Ladki Hai Kahan, it
That's
sounds like
amazing.
Saif is singing, because Shan's voice and Saif's voice is so, even the talking voice is so very, they're very similar, So it's casting. It's basically casting.
And also Udit's voice was like synonymous with Amir Khan since Papa Kehte Hai, Bada Naam Karega, whatever, and through Lagan and all that. So I think even Amir said that it'd be nice if we try Udit for my song, and it just came correctly. And Sonu to use for Tanhai was a very different kind of thing. So Sonu's more of a love song, whatever kind of singer. And the way he delivered Tanhai, and actually that was really the right choice, because Tanhai is not an easy song to sing. There's a lot of modulation, there's a lot of stuff that you have to do to be able to sing. You probably need some classical training to be able to sing a song like that. And when Sonu got the Filmfare Award for Dil Chahta Hai, for Tanhai, and that's what he said. He's saying, thank you for giving me the most articulate song. And actually it is, because it's one of the most difficult songs to sing. It goes from all over the place, and he just captured that emotion. And
So did he get a Filmfare for that? Did he get a
yeah,
Filmfare
he
for
got
that?
it, and he said that and also the IFA. He's saying, I want to thank Shankar Ehsaan Loy for giving me the most articulate song from the soundtrack,
Oh, that's great. Oh,
And
now I don't know that he got a Filmfare for Tanhai.
Yeah, he got
Great,
it. Yeah, he got it,
Okay.
and he sang it beautifully.
Of course. He's an amazing singer.
And of course, Srinivas was a very good choice for Kaisi Hai Ye Rutt. South Indian. He had that slight tinge in his voice, very, very different. And I think it's probably one of the most different songs that he's ever sung. And that song
Yeah.
itself is so different in its structure and, musically speaking, the way it goes through key changes and this and that. And it's just amazing. I mean, when he sang it, he got blown away when the song goes to the antra, Kaise ke na 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 na, that part. It just changes completely, And in fact, he went back to Chennai and he called me up. He's saying, Ehsaan da, that key change. How did you compose that key change? I said, speak to Loy and Shankar. They're the ones who did it. It was just superb. And yeah, it was very lovely. Yeah, the whole
It's
album
amazing
was,
because it's the first time we're working together, so there are a lot of things that we were learning about each other's influences, and we continually keep having this fights as to what even now up to recently on stage before one of the gigs, and saying this is the key, and Shankar saying no, that's not the key, and Ehsaan and me look at each other and say, okay, look, to us this is the key, this is for you, that's the key. Because
And it was
different
a-
systems, right? So
and it was also
it's
the
fantastic
thing
because
is
you're
that
always learning new things.
the interaction with Javed Akhtar also was something else. I mean, the recordings, that whole family actually, Javed Saab, Zoya and Farhan, they have a crazy sense of humor. And in fact, Javed Saab, I remember that time there used to be some online magazine a video magazine, a television kind of magazine called Lehere or something like that. And there was an interview in that with Javed Saab. And the first thing that Javed Saab said is that they don't only have a good sense of music, they have a great sense of humor. And I think, that is a big connection with Javed Saab. We'd sit and we'd laugh and laugh and laugh through the recording, through the composition, I mean, everything. And it was just a superb experience. I mean, that's going to be an experience we are going to carry till the last day of our lives, and it was special.
Also, Javed Saab and Shankar in particular have a great sync in terms of
Yeah.
when they're working on the lyrics, because he writes, a lot of times we're writing the rhythmic phrases are very different, and Javed Saab will write literally, to the cut so specifically. I mean, the very rare instances that you'll find that that you need to modify something, and they have a great. Actually, Shankar has the most lyricists because he's.
No, I mean, look at it. See, if you analyze the phrasing of this, ta da 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 da, it's unique, So to fit in, it's like a Lego block, जिसे ढूंढता हूँ मैं हर कहीं वो कभी मुझे मिली है नहीं. To find words which flow very easily, and at the same time it is exactly to the meter.
Exactly.
So that is
Exactly.
that is Javed Saab's speciality. He's amazing.
And of course, Javed Saab's way of putting together very deep thought in the simplest of words.
Yes,
And that's where Tanhai, I mean, to start with a word like Tanhai, I mean, you've already shot the arrow onto the guy's heart, onto the person's heart, Tanhai, bus, that is like giving you the whole gist of the song,
and it's
In
fantastic when you watch
Tufan
it.
also, Tufan the last when on the funeral pyre, when the sad version of Ananya comes, that tum something and मैं जल रहा हूँ चिता में, that those lyrics are like, it just kills you, man. And Rakesh and me were saying, see, this is Javed Saab's speciality. When we were watching the screening, that
Magic.
that time he understood. I've told this to Rakesh. The beauty of Javed Saab is in simple lyrics, he will convey the deepest meaning. He's saying, yeah, see, now I'm understanding what you meant.
Like Tanhai, you can, you see hear the song and watch the scene, the movie, that section. It's like you can feel that pain because it's amazing. It has all these movements, and it's like there's stillness and there's still movement happening at simultaneously, which is
you are lonely in spite of so many things happening around you. So
Right.
you don't need to be alone on the mountains, to feel lonely. You can feel lonely even in the middle of like 2,000 people around and feel
And
terrible.
the thing is that the
So
way
is
he
the
shot it, different frame rates, the way he shot it, where he's walking through a crowded station, and
Right.
yet if people are moving
Right.
at a different frame rate and he's different, there you could see the person's loneliness. I mean, who shot a song of a guy standing in a graveyard, feeling his solitude here? That is like poetic,
Poetic,
to be.
absolutely.
Yeah, it's poetic. I mean, and the thing is that you'll see it when you're in a graveyard, you're alone in its emptiness, So it's all symbolic, and that takes a lot of depth to the person who's made the film and written
the bass
script.
line, boss, and the bass line. That does it.
Yeah.
In fact, I remember one very funny thing about Tanhai, actually, in the rhythm track. Do you know that there's one part that Shankar, you played on cellophane paper?
Yes.
When you
Like
and
a brush thing.
you took a piece of cellophane paper and on the cellophane,
Sir, any favorites that you guys would want to take out from the album that you personally feel this was the best that worked best for the film? Any?
No, the whole album, boss.
This album is very difficult to say. Very
You
special.
tell me now, which is your special, which is your favorite? Can you ever point
Like
out one?
no,
You can't. It's a
no.
whole album. It's a whole album. Yeah, it's a whole album. Yeah.
Sir, this
Yeah.
question could be for like for the current time. So, in the concept, like in the age of the digital, where films are made for the web, and there's the concept of web series, which is getting so much of traction. Do you think the concept of music album like Dil Chahta Hai or Kal Ho Na Ho or most recently also Tufan had that kind of a music album. Do you think it's fast, disappeared?
I think the way we consume music has changed, and you have to adapt to that. Earlier, the problem is a lot of producers use music to fund their films. Okay, and they still do. Music is a very important part of funding the business. So without the songs, like probably half the movies would not be made. So that's the reality of the business. Okay, so they need songs at any cost. They need songs. They need good songs. Okay. So the thing is, earlier one would have about eight songs to an album, and the reality is most of the time you would actually need 3 songs in a film, sometimes even 2 if you really analyze it. A lot of it
Yeah,
was
yeah, yeah.
like force fitting a song into a film, and it's bad for the audience because everyone gets restless, and you can see people fidgeting in their seats. Oh no, here comes another song. Like 5 minutes
Unless
is
it's an
over.
album like Dil Chahta Hai.
Yeah. So it's important, and I think with the new format, you will really stick songs if you need to have a song in it. Otherwise, there's no need for a song. So it's in a way, it's a good thing because look at it. Look at it this way: if I'm doing a film of 8 songs, of which actually only 3 are important, so 2 are wasted, right? So it to us as music composers it makes no difference because instead of writing 8 songs we'll write 3 songs for a film, and then you can allocate your time to writing for another film, so it makes a lot more sense to us personally. If you need 8 songs and you can tell the story and it's important for your script, then by all means that's
Yeah,
important.
like
But this
Bandish
is,
Bandits, man.
yeah,
Bandish Bandits has got about 12 to
17.
14 songs
Oh,
and
okay.
about 100 musical IDs.
Hmm.
you
So
said much more than
where
that, right?
music was there, yeah.
We said some
Yeah,
400.
I mean, we had to record 450 IDs, but then it had to be edited, this, that, and in the film, about more than 100 IDs are used.
See, I
In
think
the
it's
series,
also got
sorry.
to do a lot with whether it's OTT or whether it's theatre. It's got to do with the film script. I mean, if you're doing Patal Log, you're not going to put Koi Kahi in the middle of Patal Log. You know what I mean? But the thing is that if you're making that kind of film, they make like a love story or a chick flick or whatever. You're going to have the music as much as it's been from before. Maybe it may not be lip sync, or maybe some may be lip sync, but the music will be there. So music is an integral part of film, not only in India, in any part of the world. You look at Bulgarian films, French films, music is there besides background. There is incidental music, and there's all kinds of stuff that plays. And I don't think that will continue, and especially in the Hindi film industry. It's too ingrained into them. They will not, you don't want to let that go. It's
Besides,
part of the culture. Why not?
OTT has changed the palette of storytelling because there's much
That
more
is where the,
diverse stories scripts being brought to the screen. Previously, everyone say, oh, we have to cater to this particular state and this, all that's gone. I mean, now you make a film and there will be people watching it, not just in India but all around the world. Which but previously,
Yeah.
if it only came to your theater and you couldn't go, you couldn't see it. A lot of us haven't seen so many movies because we are so busy working in the studio. Now on a digital platform, you can watch all the movies, all the classics and all the films that someone would recommend, at your own pace and own
True.
leisure, which is fantastic. I think it's great.